The conservative establishment wants to destroy the CBC. How can we better utilize or expand the CBC?
The CBC plays a fundamental role in the life of Canada, and I worked there for a decade in the 2000s, and I actually, my shows started getting canceled, and I stopped getting invited back around the time that Stephen Harper was elected Prime Minister, and I denied it at the time that there was any kind of political context to the fact that I was no longer welcome on the nation's public broadcaster, but in retrospect, it really was true. There are political pressures on the CBC, and the right in Canada, they hate public services. They want everything to be privatized. They're ideological opposed to the CBC, and they've conducted this decades-long war on the CBC, accusing it of being a left-wing socialist propaganda mouthpiece. As a left-winger who worked for a decade in the CBC, that is fucking garbage. That is absolutely not true. The CBC is filled with people who are under constant attack from the right, from pro-Israel, Zionist pro-Israel lobbies, and have massive pressure on them to not be too progressive. And so they're bending over backwards to prove to the right all the time that the CBC is not left-wing. As a result, we have an incoherent public broadcaster in many ways for me. And there have been great news editors at the CBC, journalists who rose through the ranks, not just all the layers of management, but journalists who ran things in the 90s, the 2000s, who really just did classic, good, critical journalism.